And we are live. So hello everybody and welcome to the first Hotelcast TV episode of the year. And we start with a very special edition. I can see some people already getting in. Thank you everybody for being here today. Today we are going to chat with 3 winners of the Hotel Tech Awards 2021. That's really special. And we will talk about hotel marketing trends and what you can do now to get great results. So stay tuned. If in case you don't know, the Hotel Tech Awards is an international prestigious award produced by the Hotel Tech Report. So a shout out to Jordan and Adam Hollander, the founders of the HER. Thank you so much for all the hard work you do for the industry. And if you are here today for the first time, Hotelcast is the webinar series by Asksuite. And my name is Paula. I'm the content creator at Asksuite, and I will be the host today. You can see here that the guests are already on the screen. So thank you, everybody, for being here. Thank you, the guests. Thank the audience. Thank you. We are just getting started. So please let us know from where you're watching the show. Write your questions and comments on the chat that we have here, and we will do our best to answer you all. So, like I said, I have with me not only one, but 3 award winners in the Hotel Tech Award. This is really an opportunity to interact that you won't find anywhere else. So get the best of it. We will talk about marketing trends. So they will give their tips and insights. So you don't want to miss it. So let's get this started, right? And we're going to start, of course, introducing our guests. Otherwise, I wouldn't be polite if I don't do that. So with me today is Bianca Barga. She is the sales director at Asksuite. Asksuite won the best website, Livechat, and Chatbot for the second time in a row. So welcome, Bianca. So nice to have you here today.
Thank you. Good morning from the West Coast, 6 a.m. for me here, or good afternoon for whatever you're watching.
Yeah, that's the magic of being global, right? I really love that, and see how we can reach so many different countries. Bianca, welcome to the show again. And in case someone doesn't know you yet, can you please just introduce yourself just quickly to our audience, why people are still saying hello to us here?
Yeah, absolutely. I've been in hospitality for 17 years. I started in reservations, then I moved to revenue management, then I moved to sales, and most recently I was in distribution. Loved hospitality. Unfortunately, I was one of the casualties last year. I was laid off very early on, but here I am with Asksuite. I was talking to Asksuite before I came to work here. We wanted to roll the technology out for our hotels, and it ended up that now I'm one of the team members for the company. I think my true passion is really revenue management and distribution, and I think technology really ties with it. So based in Los Angeles, California, but originally from Brazil. I don't know if you noticed that I have a little bit of an accent, but yeah, not much. I think for Americans, I do.
But thank you so much, Bianca. And I know where you are right now. It's what, 4 a.m.? I don't know.
Yes.
You're a warrior.
Yes, I am a warrior. I am a morning bird anyway, so.
Thank you so much. Well, let's say hello here to I know for people from Serbia. Hello, Philip. New Scotland, Canada, São Paulo. South Carolina, Florida. Hello, everybody. London too. And let me also introduce our next guest. He is Sebastian Leitner, and I'm pretty sure I said your last name wrong, Sebastian. So sorry. I know you don't mind, but I try to. Sebastian is the VP partnerships at Cloudbeds. Cloudbeds won as Best Property Management System, Best Hotel Booking Engine, and is the winner of the Hotelier Choice Award. Not bad, Sebastian. So welcome to the show, and thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you so much for having me. Really a pleasure to be here. I don't know what even to add. You've already explained my life almost. You told, well, one thing to maybe add. I'm based out of Montreal, Canada. We have about 2 meters of snow behind me, in case you wonder how cold it can be. So welcome to everyone. And cheers to the world. And I can't wait to talk about marketing. So let's do this.
You talked about the snow. Sorry, did you say anything about your dog, which is a very special? It's almost our
She's
guest.
a black lab, right? And then she will come later on today, and will probably ask me for a treat or some attention. Yeah, it's very important. I need to take care of your not only of your children, but also your pets. Very important.
Yeah, it is. Thank you so much again, Sebastian. I know it's quite early there too. So like Bianca, you are one of the true warriors here in this webinar. Hello to Brazil. I see a lot of people from Brazil here in the chat. Dubai, Long Island. Thank you, everybody. Welcome. And last but not least, it's our third guest is Thomas Landen. He is the Director of Global Partnerships at Revinate. Revinate won as the best hotel email marketing and CRM. So thank you so much, Thomas, for being in the show, and welcome too.
A pleasure to be here. Thank you for having us, and I'm looking forward to answering all the questions from the panels and discussing some future outlooks with you on the marketing side.
Yeah, and Thomas, can you talk a little bit about of yourself, and maybe have some you don't have a dog, I think I don't know.
No, I have two small kids that are hiding somewhere, and I hope they're not coming to storm me. But we will see. No, I'm as I said, I look after our global partners and our integration partners, and I have a specific focus on the data integrations that we have with our partners. I've been with Revinate for the last 7+ years. I come also from a hospitality background, the fun and pleasure working for Fairmont in California, and then in Scotland and a couple other properties around the world, and now at Revinate, helping hotels to make sure that the data flows from one point to the other.
Nice, Thomas. Thank you so much. Thank you to the three of you. Let's get started. We have a lot to cover. Just saying hello to Peru, to Amsterdam as well. Thank you, everybody. And I do encourage you to write your questions and comments on the chat. We will do our best also to answer you. Okay, so let's start by talking about the award. Of course, it was a crazy and tough 2020. So it is not bad at all to start the year with winning an award, a prestigious award, like the Hotel TechAwards. So I have a question, and it goes to the three of you. How did it feel to win the award? How did the company? How was the emotion of getting this award? And what do you think it contributed the most for the victory? I know it's really hard question to point out one. But I'm going to start with you, Thomas. How was for Revinate to start the year like this?
We're extremely happy and proud to win again. Our, it's a, as you said, it's a prestigious thing to win, and it's a tough race. We have great competition over all the different categories. I think that counts for all of us. But and especially after a year of 2020, where we've gone to for a company, but as also for our customers, lots of ups and downs and a lot of emotions in terms of like, hey, we're opening back up, we're closing back down, people on furlough, people unfortunately laid off. So it's been some good news on that side. And it is obviously the whole algorithm. What determines who wins is a little bit of a secret sauce, but I think the main thing is obviously the customers, right? And we're very fortunate to have customers that are happy with us, and that results in a win. So 3 years, that sets the expectation for next year to win it again 4 years in a row. But
Revinate is doing such a good work, and I think anybody that knows anything about the Hotel Tech knows Revinate. But congratulations again on the
thank you.
award.
It's really and especially for our support and service, customer service side that kept our customers up and running and working through these times. It's definitely a reward for them as well. Absolutely.
Nice, Thomas. And what about you, Bianca and Asksuite? How was for the company, and what do you think was maybe something that put Asksuite a little bit ahead of the competition?
I think proud is definitely the word. I think everybody was so excited to receive the prize. For me personally, after being jobless for 9 months and to join an award-winning company, it felt even more special because I knew I was joining, someone that already had a good reputation in the market. I think some of the reasons that helped us win is our ability to show results to our clients. We are able to track how many bookings are being made through the chatbot, and stealing business from OTAs is probably the biggest challenge that hotels have today. So I think our ability to show ROI at the end of the day is very powerful. I think that we also reached a high level of AI of 85%, and only less than 2% of people actually ask to talk to a human after interacting with the robot. So I think that's a reflection of how smart our little robot is. And also the way that we empower reservations agent to talk to clients while they're on your website. Because if you think today, a guest can be on your website, but there's no way of you to talk to them unless you have a chatbot solution. So I think we empower the reservation agents to close the sale and to close the deal, and to really focus on what matters, which is the interaction with the guests. I think those are some of the reasons that we won the prize.
Right, nice, Bianca. Thank you so much. And Sebastian, what about Cloudbeds? How was for Cloudbeds? And before you say that, I know you have just saying hello here to people to Switzerland, from Switzerland. Hello. And Juliana is saying belated congratulations to all award winners. Thank you, Juliana. So go ahead, Sebastian. How was for Cloudbeds to win this award? And what do you think put you ahead of the competition?
Well, thank you. We were extremely thankful and extremely happy with the awards. It is a testament that our customers feel passionate about our products. At Cloudbeds, we think about PMS, about channel management, about booking engines differently. We provide our properties one ecosystem solution that delivers a lot of value and a lot of relevant tools in a single application. And the number of reviews, the number of positive reviews for us was a testament that we're doing something right. The products that we're delivering, the support that we're providing, must be hitting a nerve with our properties and our customers. We've been very fortunate to grow in 2020, even in 2020, in a very difficult year. So we've been able to grow the number of customers using Cloudbeds. And as a reflection of that, we've been able to grow a number of reviews in Hotel Tech Report. So thankful to the team, right? I get to speak to what the rest of Cloudbeds is delivering. But our customer support, a shout out to sales, a shout out to the people that are onboarding properties and giving them guidance and assistance. That's really their success, right? It's not. We have about 120 people that are in support and onboarding, and it's really their accomplishment to achieve such a reward because they talk to our customers every single day. So a big shout out to them. And of course, when you win so many awards, everyone is, to Thomas's point, you want to continue winning, right? You get spoiled. So everyone is laser focused on delighting our customers moving forward in 2021 and making sure that we stay number one, right? Now we're being chased. That's a good thing, right?
Yeah, it is hard to reach the top, but it's harder to stay there. It is.
Bring it on. We're ready.
Yeah, that's great, Sebastian. Thank you so much. Thank you all for all your insights. And I think from my personal opinion about it is, I think, especially because 2020 was such a hard time, of course, a hard year for hoteliers, and the award is based on clients review, most of it. I think it speaks a lot about all the companies care of the customers. Otherwise, you wouldn't win neither of the three of the companies. So yeah, congratulations to everybody. And but that was 2020, right? So let's look to the future. Let's look to 2021. Like Sebastian and Thomas put it, we're gonna have to do a lot of work to continue to be on top. So let's talk about the trends. What are the hotel marketing trends do you guys think in 2021? I would like to start with you, Bianca, today. What are your thoughts about what's coming in our way?
I think maybe not what's coming, but what's already in place, and maybe people are not paying attention. So in my opinion, a big thing to watch is your social channels becoming also booking channels. If you think the way that people shop today, Back in the day, you would go to someone's website, you would send them an email, you would call the reservations department. Today, your Facebook might be the new website. Your Instagram might be your new website. WhatsApp might be the new reservation channel. So I think that's something that not many people are paying attention to, and they should. WhatsApp launched the pay on WhatsApp in India. I think they have 1 million users. They are testing that. So I think that's going to take a bigger role now within the distribution channel, and people have to really pay attention. It's sad to me to see some boutique hotels out there not even having an Instagram or Facebook page because it's a free advertisement for you, and it's going to be more normal than we think. So I think that's probably a big one that we have to watch for.
Nice. And you mentioned about social media being also a communication channel. I think that's key. I was actually recording a podcast today episode, and the guest was also saying this, how much the hotels still thinks as just an advertising place, but it is a communication. I mean, if I start talking to any brand, not only hotels, but if I communicate with a company through, I don't know, Facebook, I don't want to get it, oh, please call our department. I mean, that's not good. What do you guys think about it? Sebastian, do you agree that social media is still not getting the best, hotels are not getting the best of social media in terms of communication channel?
Yeah, and especially, since there's a lot of changes happening to distribution, right? If we think at sort of the big factors that are impacting us, at least in the first 6 months of this year, right? Everyone is hoping that travel will recover and will come very quickly. But the situation is bad right now, right? A lot of borders are closed. You don't have international travel happening. If you have any travel happening for spring break, if you have any travel happening over Easter, it is likely going to be local. It is likely going to be leisure versus corporate. It'll likely be in close proximity. People are not going to, take a plane to travel. They may take the car, right? So location is critical, leisure is critical, and domestic is critical, to say some of these factors. And to Bianca's point, people are going to use in their inspiration, in their search, whatever they're most comfortable with. And that may be social media, right? That may be Facebook, that may be WhatsApp, that may be Instagram. I think we're seeing that properties need to cater to a whole new audience, especially in tourist destinations that are not seeing international demand. Think about Mexico, the coast. Think about even in Brazil, the coastline, where you've previously had a lot of international customers come, at least in the winter months, to warm up from, the cold up north. Now you have to cater to a domestic customer. Now you have to figure out a way to attract local demand, and knowing which channels to be part of, making sure you're visible, present, and you can engage with that local audience is critical. We expect fewer demand or less demand, at least in the first half of 2021, with then suddenly a surge, right? Like there is going to be a lot of pent-up demand, at least in leisure travel, and we better get ready for that wave that is going to hit us, hopefully, right? At least that's my prediction for 2021.
Yeah, and Thomas, what about you and your thoughts about the 2021 auto marketing trends?
Yeah, lots of things have said. I think to Bianca, to your point, a lot of trends have already started, right? And it's an acceleration of things that are already moving along. And things like self check-in, for example, is already something that we obviously did beforehand, but obviously now get much more push because we wanted to take as many human factors out of the journey as possible. I think Renata just said something on the chat, and I think we should invite her for the next time to talk with us because she's spot on a lot of things. But there's a lot of main trends that are happening. Obviously, customer experience, again, nothing new. This has always been a focus for hotels, and it continues to go. Health and safety and security and cleaning, that whole package is something where hotels will focus on. But for me, I think that as mentioned, that the trend is really is local. I think that's where the most opportunity is for hotels right now, and to kind of rethink how they do their marketing. So collaboration with local partners, collaboration with local, attractions or events, or not the right word, but like local attraction parks and things like that, or local musea where you can actually partner and do something. And I think there's a lot of opportunity for hotels to drive demand that way. Obviously, now the situation with everything closed, schools closed, borders closed, it's going to be tough. But hopefully, in the spring, we can make that step. And I think one added thing is like we do see a lot of predictions out there. We see a lot of like BCD just came with a big report that says more than 60% of the business travelers will continue to travel for business, or expected summer 2021. So hopefully by summer we're actually looking and having the ability to welcome international business travelers again, and having a little bit more of a mix in your hotel occupancy versus only local.
I like your comment around collaboration. Some of our properties this year, or at least in 2020, they called the summer of 2020 the Great American Road Trip. And they put themselves together. Like they were actually creating road trips, itineraries with their competitors, right? So to your point, you need to start collaborating even with your competitors in order to create a marketing message that says, why don't you go on that trip, on that highway trip, and you'll stay in my property and then the property that is my competitor an hour away. And they created some great stories around that in order to attract that local customer.
Yeah, they had exactly the same thing as in the Netherlands. A road trip around the Netherlands and top 5-star luxury hotels in the Netherlands, with dinner packages, with local attractions, and it was just something that sold. So I think that would be definitely focus for getting that in place right now. And as soon as restrictions lift, we can start promoting that, and you can start communicating that.
And if I may add,
sorry.
I just wanted to add on something that you said, Thomas, that's interesting to me. I think as hospitality professionals, as an industry, we tend to take longer to adapt to new technologies, because a lot of the things that we're talking here, they have been in place. What I said, social media being a booking channel, that has been happening, but we really didn't pay too much attention. The self-check-in, the self-checkout, or the communication via text messages, these things have been happening. I think 2020 just accelerated those things. And I think at one point it's because we are a 24/7 business. Hotels never stop. It's not that you can take a month break and implement all new technology and then come back online, right? We have to do these things while we have a 24/7 business. So I think, again, as we're all saying here, there are a lot of trends that were already in place, but we didn't adopt. And now we're being forced to look into things differently. And I think we should, because we have the time, which is something that hoteliers complain they never do. So it's a horrible thing that happened to the world, to our industry, but it might be an opportunity for us to really try to see what's out there, what can help my business, what can be automated, what can be improved for my guest journey. We just didn't pay attention before.
Yeah, I think you're totally right, Bianca. I think the hotel industry, everybody knows, is a bit a traditional one. And 2020 kind of forced us, all of us, including travelers and hoteliers, to embrace technology in the hotel experience. And as here we are talking about the local, the domestic travel and all that. Here in Brazil, we've seen that too. But even when the domestic, people are still hesitating, of course, even if you go inside of your country. And I think maybe, I don't know if you all agree with me and what you can add to that. But like I said before, I think it is about trust now, building trust, hotels building trust with the travelers so they feel safe. And in that matter, marketing has a huge role to add there, right?
I think that's very good point. And the hotel market has always been, or looking from a guest perspective, it's always been a buyer's market, right? As a traveler, you have so much choice, and this choice has even become greater right now. Obviously, there's now more limitation on distance you can travel, right? It's not as easy to get in a plane and fly the other side of the world, but still there's a lot of opportunity for travelers to choose locally. And I think that's just that requires hotels to obviously put their best foot forward. And in terms of communication, in terms of like letting know what kind of measurements and what kind of actions you've taken to make sure that all the standards are respected, and as a guest you can feel that you can actually enjoy your hotel stay and have all the right safety and precaution measures in place.
Yeah, right. And I think one point that you mentioned before, you all mentioned before, quite slightly, but maybe it's good to talk about. You are talking about the traveler's point of view, being they want to be a better communication to the hotel, to feel safe, all that. But also from terms of hotel operations, we do have to say that unfortunately a lot of hotels have to downsize, right? And it feels like it's now we're talking about maybe adapting a marketing, because now the target has changed, and it can be a bit overwhelmed for a hotelier. Now, okay, I don't have that bigger team anymore, and now I have to do the whole bunch of adaptations. So any insights, any tips, or any information you guys can give to the hotelier right now, that it's okay, I understand I have to pay attention to social media, I have to understand I have to maybe adapt my target audience. How I do that here? I'm alone, help me. So what can we do? Is there any?
Well, selfishly, we would argue that, I think all of us would argue, technology can help you here. But it's true. I think now is a great time to change. Now is a great time to upgrade your technology stack in order to create. And there's really two important components: automation and a seamless guest experience, right? Like we are so used to this thing. It's our lifesaver, right? This is my anchor. And as we travel, or when we travel again, hopefully soon, this is going to be our map, our guide, our hopefully key, our connection point. We will be afraid to communicate in person with people. So the ability to communicate with your hotel through your applications, through your mobile phones, is a critical component. And then, if you don't connect, I guess, the information, if you don't know who I am, if you don't know that I have a stay booked, this is where it gets tricky, right? This is where friction is created. And this is where all of us on this call need to create the automation, the seamless, the connectivity in order to exchange the information. And we can do that. This is what we do every single day. Thomas in partnership, myself, Bianca, we create seamless experiences. So there is a solution. You just have to, pick up the phone, contact our website, have a conversation with us, in a way.
Yeah.
But
go ahead.
No, go ahead, Thomas. I talk too much. Someone has to cut me off. Please go ahead.
All right. Well, I think you bring up a really good point. There's so much to do and there's so little time, and obviously hotels are in a lot of stress in terms of cut hours, people on furlough, people unfortunately laid off. I think one of the bigger challenges for hotels is kind of they want to do too much. They want to reach too many objectives, and that's sometimes I talk to hotel marketeers and execs, and it's like, okay, well, we want to improve the scores here. We want to drive more direct bookings there. We want to do this. We want to do more upsells. There's a whole portfolio of things that they want to accomplish, and I think certainly in these times where you have less staff, pick your most important battles that you want to achieve. Pick your most important things that are actually going to impact your business in terms of profitability, in terms of operations, and not trying to do 17 different things, just all making small adjustments on these things. I think that's focus and pick the most important things, is especially now critical when you have less resources and less staff and teams on site.
Yeah, and I think to add to that, Thomas, I think sometimes we want to do so many things and we lose focus on the things that we can do. And as a hotelier, when was the last time that you followed your booking journey from a guest? When was the last time you called your own reservations department, or you visited your own booking engine trying to make a booking through the GDS. I think I invite you to do that and to understand from the guest point of view, how is their journey? Is it easy for them to book? Could you be doing something better? Even if you can't afford technology now or improve your technology right now, how can you make things better for the guests? And I think we have so much data, and as Thomas was saying, we want to do so much and we forget to do the simple things. Google Analytics, for example, that is a free tool that everybody has. During the downtime, who is visiting your website? Who is paying attention to you right now? Can you be doing something with those people that are actually shopping your hotel at the moment? So it's almost back to the basics, back to the local, and try to really pay attention on how people are shopping, the way that they're taking and how that process flows with everyone. They said something that I had here, so they stole my thunder, but integration. Do your systems communicate with each other? Does your CRM communicate with your chatbot? Does your booking engine communicate with your chatbot? Does the information flows correctly? So I think those are some of the things that people should be looking into as well.
I don't want to steal your thunder, Bianca, and your point is so important that repetition is critical. So, this is very important.
Yeah, and I think go ahead, Thomas, please.
No, I think one thing to add is really think about what you want to accomplish as a hotel, because I think there's one thing to obviously a lot of thought always let's get more technology and that will fix everything, and of course there's limitations to that as real life is, and really as you said, go through that booking journey, make sure what data flows where, and start working with your team's front desk to make sure that enter the right information in the PMS so it actually flows from the PMS to different systems out there. And really these things, so it's yes, it's obviously getting the right technology in place, but also on a human factor, making sure that you have the procedures right to capture the right information, capture the right data, and the data is correct.
But Thomas, doesn't it start with what experience do you want to create, right? I mean, you have to, and it goes a little bit in the direction of what you said, prioritize your work, focus on the things that are relevant. But think about what experience, you want to create for your guests. And when you've decided that, technology can support you in some of these areas, and in others you may want to have people, right? And to have that human touch point as well, if it's part of the experience you want to deliver.
Yeah, no, and what experience is a question. What experience do you want to deliver as a hotel? You should always ask and continues to refine that question. But it can be a very daunting or ambiguous question, right? What experience? Well, that's kind of a hard thing to answer. And without trying to kind of solve and boil the ocean, there's very simple things that you can do on an operational level, and as managers of the hotel can, let's make sure that we collect the right data. Let's make sure that we collect the right phone numbers, email addresses, date of birth, all that details about the guest. Make sure that we take the right notes and that they're understandable for the whole teams. And that will, you can do two things at the same time and continuously define your experience that you want to deliver, but at the same time building that foundation with the right information underneath it.
Nice. Well, people in the chat are agreeing with all of you. No one said anything bad about you three, so you can all smile, breathe, take a deep breath. They just said, Davina wrote here that some hotel chains did actually have some amount of downtime to review technology. So yeah, it is an opportunity now to review technology, like all of you are talking about. And Valdine also said, you're right about prioritizing things. And yes, I think that's what it doesn't have a recipe. We wish it was that simple, right? That it would do this and that, and you get this result. But I think you all agree, all the three of you agree that you have to see what are your needs and your operations, and what is your goal, as also Sebastian said, and then combine these two to because it can be like what Thomas said. I agree. I talked to some hoteliers, they get lost. Like, it can be a lot, it can be too much. So maybe do some simple things first, and prioritizing and knowing, like Bianca said, knowing what is actually your hotel, what kind of experience it's providing. Because sometimes we do think we're providing something, and we are not. We are wrong, right? So yeah, and I'm gonna just, before you go, Bianca, sorry, just encourage everybody to keep asking us. It's great that you've seen so much people engaging. And I'm gonna say hello to London that I think I didn't, sorry, and Peru as well. So thank you everybody for tuning in. And Bianca, I know you were gonna say something and I stopped you, sorry.
No. It was simple. And one interesting thing is that sometimes if we try our booking journey, we have a point of view. What I usually do is I ask my mom, I ask my husband, I'm like, can you come to my website and try to make a booking? Just make up a situation in your mind and make a booking and let me know how it goes. Because again, we have a point of view, and for us, it's easy to pinpoint some flaws that we might have on our booking engine, on our booking journey. But from a guest point of view, how does that show for them? So I think that's a good exercise too, especially if your hotel is closed and you want to try new things. Ask someone to make a booking and give you their feedback on how their booking journey and how their booking process is.
Yeah, that's great tip, Bianca. And Adele here, I think this one, maybe it's a little bit more for Thomas. It's about emails, Thomas. Adele, hello, Adele. Thank you for being here. Front desk teams say it is too hard to collect emails. So make a practice of sending out a pre-reg form to all guests, including ETA, so you can have the contact details, why they're coming, and upselling opportunities, and make the guests feel a personal connection. Yeah, emails are, it is, we in Asksuite, we see that too. And I know that clients in Cloudbeds also see that. Email is the topic that when I was hotelier was a struggle before all this technology that we had now. It was a lot of copy pasting, a lot of manual. So Thomas, you read something here to what Adele is saying about the front desk teams collect emails.
No, Adele, I fully understand and get the point. And it is tough, right? You're trying to do as a front desk agent, having the experience with so many things at the same time, and then also having to ask. So absolutely, pre-reg forms, digital forms will definitely help you to kind of capture at least a portion of that. But I think it's also as a front desk team to kind of how do you position it. And so what we see hotels actually having quite good success is doing some competitions around it. Multiple hotels in a group who can convert the most OTA emails into real emails, and having a ranking of that, and who's the best front desk team, to kind of give some incentive and some energy behind that. And that's not only for emails, but also phone numbers or other pieces of data. And then I think it comes in, very handy to kind of, as a front desk agent, being alerted on what information do you miss, right? If you can have that very easy in a snapshot and say, oh, we actually missed your email address. Can we capture that, or maybe get that so we can send you, your bill, for example, on after this day. So as a front desk agent, you don't have to actually scramble and kind of go through all the details and say, oh, well, we have this and we have this, but not that one. So.
Adding to that, Thomas, I would like to you need to give your teams an incentive to capture that information, of course, right? All right, now he's going to win. This is awesome. Where's my dog? Where's my dog?
That was brilliant.
I was waiting for it, but no, of course it happens. Yeah.
Awesome. But Thomas, your point was let's give an let's get an incentive in place for staff members. I think we also need to give the customer an incentive to give away their email addresses, right? And we often fail that point, right? It's like, why do you want my email address? I already struggle with spam. I already struggle with phishing. I already struggle with my inbox. So what's the reason why you want my email? And create, an incentive around that improves the guest experience, that creates value for the customer. I think that's when you have success. Not only on.
No, I think trust is one of the in general, trust in marketing is one of the key things. While you probably hear screaming on the background, but trust in and I think there's a job as hoteliers to explain, and it's not only incentives, 5% off, 10% off, which is a quick fix, but it's building that trust with your customers in the long term and proving that you actually can be trusted with not only emails but personal data in general. And I think that's a key thing as a marketeer or as a hotel, to explain why you collect it, explain the reasons, and be trustful with the information that you go out. It's a privilege, it's a privilege to work with that guest information, regardless of what type of detail it is, and you should treat it that way.
One thing that never fails for me to enter my email, if I don't give my email at the front desk, but then they say, well, we have free Wi-Fi, and I'm like, amazing. And when you're logging into the Wi-Fi and you have to enter email, it doesn't even occur to me they have my email now. So maybe that's a tricky way to entice people to give their email without knowing, right?
Well, and Bianca, to your point, it doesn't always have to be 5% discount to get an email, right? It can be such a thing as a commodity like Wi-Fi that is critical, that says, hey, submit your email and you can go online, and that's it, right? It's I like that.
Yeah, and just to add a point that Crystal here said in on comments, the data management and collection that we're talking about is done prior to the guest arrival. I think people that like me, that were in the hotel industry back then, we used to do, like Bianca said, like we'd only collect when the person was in the front desk, at the front desk. And now hotels have this huge opportunity of collecting in a very smooth way. And before, right? So I guess the communication before the arrival, it is on the spotlight now. Don't you think, Bianca? I think it have many ways of. I know you work as a hotelier for some years, so I think you got this the same experience as me. That before was just what happened on the front desk and maybe after, and now people are starting to really look to the before.
Absolutely.
Booking.
I agree. At Asksuite, when they started the company, they did A/B testing, and our chatbot now, we don't ask for emails right away, because through our testing, we found out that 77% of people would drop after you ask them for email. I was part of that 77%. I never like to give my email. But as you said, there are smooth ways to ask for your email throughout the journey, pre-journey, post-journey, that might entice people to give that information away. And as both of Sebastian and Thomas said, explain to the guests why you want to communicate with them. And that's why it's so important, as I was saying before, to have their social channels. If someone starts their communication via Facebook, via WhatsApp, you have their data forever. You can talk to them, and they didn't give you their email, right? But you have their number, or you have their Facebook profile. So I think, again, there are several opportunities that we can touch and get the data, or get the identity of the guest today with technology.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. And just adding another comment here that actually puts a little bit Sebastian Cloudbeds on the spotlight, but I would like to add this question to everybody. It's asking about I've been a bit of spoiler, I guess, of the products. They're asking here about integration, but we were talking, Bianca mentioned it, about the importance of the integration between all the technologies. Otherwise, it is not innovative if you have a whole bunch of different tools that don't talk to each other. So I think it would be nice if you all three of you can share some insights about this. The Crystal is saying, from my experience with integration, we have reduced our staff. So any points to
well, let me address her question first. Will we build an integration to Cloudbeds between Instagram? Yes, absolutely. We're in discussion with them right now. Instagram is expanding, of course, their marketing capabilities to real time. You can have an Instagram profile, but you can also do ads. You can do a lot more things nowadays with Instagram. So is Facebook. We already have a seamless integration with Facebook. We're working on the Instagram integration. It needs to be more than just a link off, right? It needs to be more than just, it needs to be embedded as seamless as possible into the experience. And we're big fans of that. And we'll, Crystal, I'd love to reach out to you and discuss with you what other enhancements you'd like to see from a redesign. So yeah, I will write down your comment and your name and reach out to you. But I'd love to connect with you and just talk website optimization. Absolutely. It's a critical component.
Yeah, and before you go to the next one, I think maybe Bianca can add something about this, and Thomas, I'm sure too, about this importance of integration. I know all the companies here, they're here, they do work for partnerships with other companies. I think we all have the same mindset. So just to tell everybody, not only to Crystal, but everybody, we're going to put the link of if you don't know the link of the company, the websites of the companies that are here, we will do it so everybody can reach the company's team and get more information. But go ahead, Bianca, now about this importance of being integrated and talking partnerships with other companies as well. So it's better for the guests. That's the thing.
Absolutely. We it's in our forefront. That's what we do. Chatbot is our product for Asksuite, and we have 12 developers in-house, and we work on integrations tirelessly. So we already have an integration with Revinate. So everything that's entered on a chatbot migrates straight into Revinate. So you have that information within your CRM. We're working with Cloudbeds, and that's really something that we want to increase the number of integrations, because for us, we have all the information within the chatbot that lives there forever, but we don't want to give more work to the front desk agent or to the reservations agent to copy and paste from one platform to the other. So that's really something that we are working tirelessly on every day to have more partners and more connectivity.
Thanks. Anything else I want to add, Thomas, from Revinate side?
No. I think most of it is said. Yeah, this is my day-to-day job, and I think it's for the end. Is like I like for hotels to always work on a use case. What do you want to accomplish, and what do you actually want to see as the end result, and kind of work backwards that way. Because a good integration is very stretchable. The word "good" is very these different ways of interpreting that. But no, and I think for now, especially, there's a lot, as I said earlier, there's a lot of opportunity to actually make test bookings, see what happens. Hey, if I put values in here, what actually shows up here in my PMS, what comes out to the other systems connected, and how is this all working? And it was always important, and it's continued to be important for the foreseeable future on that.
Great. Adele here is just adding, totally agree. Leave less work to the front desk. Yeah, we are defenders of the front desk. Let automation do all it can. Yeah, that makes totally sense, because leave the human resource, which is the most valuable that you have, to do what actually has value, right? Thomas, go ahead.
No, and other thing that came to mind is like definitely for front end, but there's also a little bit of a mentality shift, I think, for newer platforms out there, that they're much more open about sharing information and versus the old way of kind of like, hey, let's hoard as much information as you have, because it stays in my system and the most valuable out there. There's much more an openness to kind of be willing to collaborate to actually get the information to the right place. And obviously OTAs is a little bit of a different animal, because the information that flows from an OTA to the PMS through the whole system to the PMS to us, there's unfortunately limitations on what the OTA wants to share. But I think that mindset shift of being more open definitely helps hotels as well.
Yeah, and you mentioned now OTA. It's something that we didn't focus specifically yet about the direct bookings. It's also a great way for you to collect the data you want. That's one problem that I see many hotels have, when the not only the commission. Let's not talk about that, but for now, but also because you do miss this direct contact with the person that it's going to stay at a hotel. So making it more easier, like Sebastian was mentioning before too, about how easy seamless have to be the experience. You get more direct bookings, and you get not only more money, but also the improve the experience, which is the focus here. I think it is a good way of doing it. It's also saying here, just let me read here on the comments, the shortest to check in is the best. People want to access their room after a long trip. Yeah, we do. By collecting data prior to arrival, the check-in is friendly and efficient. Guests are happy. I remember when I was a front desk agent, it was always a struggle. People don't want to fill in the form, and you kind of needed to because it, at least in Brazil, it's a law. And even the hotels, but that's one thing. Even the hotels that adapt. Well, I'm talking about 5 years ago. They had the check-in online. Travelers did not use it. That was quite amazing to me, and I think it also have it's a responsibility of the hotel educate the public as well for all these changes. What you guys think about that? And because we always focus on it is hard for hoteliers to adapt for technology, but I do think it also happens a little bit, at least with travelers that actually don't know what the hotel has to offer. I think so many times. Bianca, maybe you can go ahead.
You said that when I unmute myself, I want to talk. Yeah, I think that we are a lot softer when it comes to teaching our guests. Think, for example, I don't know how many years ago, but you would go to the airport and you would go to a check-in counter and you would give them your passport and all your information. They would check you in. What do the majority of airlines do today, at least here in the US? You go to a kiosk and you do your check-in and you drop off your luggage and there you go. Did anybody talk about that? Did anybody really see that change coming? No, they pushed that down our throats and we just accepted it. So I think as hoteliers, we might be a little bit too soft on, pushing the changes for our guests. I think it has to be done smoothly, but at the same time, this is the way it is and we trust us, it's going to be better for you. So I think maybe we should be a little bit quicker on adapting these changes, because at the end of the day, you're going to make the check-in process quicker, and then you're going to have a concierge that actually has amazing tips to give you about the city, about your stay, and really they're going to be able to customize your journey because they have time to do it, instead of putting the key in the key machine and giving you the key and filling out all the forms, etc.
And Bianca, to your point, I think some hospitality businesses are leading the way. If you think of vacation rentals, if you think of managed apartments, etc., they are already getting creative. You book your hotel room, you don't give them an email address, they'll WhatsApp you and say, here's your registration form, right? Here's your check-in form. And this type of experience is necessary because they don't have a reception, right? So if you think of the sort of traditional vacation rentals, there is no way to go to a counter and speak to somebody. You have a WhatsApp message, or you have an app, or you have a website. And I think hoteliers can look at that as a potential best practice and figure out, hey, is some of that experience applicable to me, or do I want to continue to have that personal interaction? We have Cloudbeds customers that say, I want to meet all my, I'm a yoga retreat, I'm a surf camp, I want to meet all of my guests, right, in person. And that's fine, that's great, if that's the experience you're going for. But if you feel that automation is critical, that's contactless is critical as a core component of your experience, then there are creative ways to do this. You just need to, push yourself a little bit, to your point, Bianca.
Agreed. And I think Pablo just said something, and I agree 100% with you, Pablo. It's just really ambassadors, multitasking. The roles are now being mixed within hospitality. You don't have a front desk agent or reservation agent. Everybody does a little bit of everything. So I think we really need to be quick to adapt, because I do believe that's the future. Independently, if you want a more automated check-in process or a more personal check-in process, I think the roles are really merging within hospitality.
Nice. Thomas, you were talking. I thought you wanted to say something before. Sorry.
No, I think everything has been said, and I wanted to comment on the comment of Pablo, which was spot on. So yeah.
Yeah, and we were talking here. It's the script. Let the audience say the script has gone through the window, because we are all talking everything and mix it up. So I know you guys already give some amazing tips about what hotels can do if you're gonna try to be a little bit more hands-on. If there is anything that because for example, data. We all talk about data. We are from technology companies, right? And I know hoteliers get a little bit stressed out with data, because many don't know what to look for, or what is important. And if you could just maybe Thomas could give us like a little bit of what should I focus on? Because you can have so much data. Because now it's the opposite way. Before we didn't have any. Now we have too much, and hoteliers are a bit crazy. Thomas, help them.
We don't know what to do with it anymore. No, I really like to think about the use case. What do you want to accomplish? And I think that's really the way to kind of I want to make sure that when a guest does this and this happens, or I want to make sure that when a booking comes in, these and these things happen. And that includes this type of information or this type of links or whatever you want to include. But this is really the kind of, the finished product or project should look like this, and then work backwards. I do think there's because you can collect data, it necessarily you don't have to, right? It's like there's a little bit of a balance of that. So it's not necessarily grabbing as much as possible and then just trying to figure out what to do. I think it's the other way around. What do you want to accomplish? And then making sure that you focus on the things that actually matter. And to the point of front desk, right? And like this has been discussed a couple of times today. If you're going to ask, and it's the same if it's a front desk or a web form or throughout the booking process, if you're going to ask 75 questions in a booking process, your conversion will go down to 0. So what is the most important things that you want? Obviously, first name, last name, and credit card details. But what are the key things that you want to capture, and how do you build that journey to kind of get to the end result, what you want to have? And that's my preferred way of thinking of it. And then you can actually have a conversation. This is what I want to accomplish. Well, my vendors, how do we get to that point?
Nice. I would like to know Sebastian's opinions. Just let the audience know we are starting to head to the end of the webinar slowly but surely. So make sure you make your questions in the chat. Don't miss out this opportunity to ask them. So go ahead, Sebastian. You have Cloudbeds. It's a specialist in data collecting and all that too. So please.
Well, and I think sort of access to data is still a challenge, right? Like, and this is crazy in today's world, especially during this terrible crisis. We need to empower our customers, our hosts and hoteliers, to make the right decisions, right? And you can only do that if you have access to real-time information and you control the data. We at Cloudbeds, we think we can deliver that by having a single ecosystem, a single platform that provides you access to distribution, booking engine, CRM in a single place. So you don't have to sort of create an outside data warehouse. Everything is at your fingertips. But without access to this information in real time, you'll have a hard time. You need to know what your competitors are doing. You need to know what OTAs are doing. You need to see what's converting, what's not converting, what dates are picking up, which ones are not. And ideally, you do that in real time. This is going to be a tricky, 2021. We can help, is my point of view on this, selfishly, if you will. But whether it's us or another system, ultimately it's about accessing data in real time and being able to make the right decisions. And I think, and especially this year, 2021, this is going to be a critical component for you to be successful.
Nice. And Bianca, what about Asksuite? Well, I personally know, and you already said before that we on our chatbot, for example, it is optional if you're going to put. If the person have to fill up the form or not. You already talk a little bit about it, but what are your thoughts about what ways we can collect and which data is they're important and so on?
Yeah, I think the way that we do it is it's in a smart way. We try to interact with the guests and then ask for email and ask for their information without letting them perceive that. So I think we do that again in a different way than the traditional way. For me, what's good about Asksuite is, again, we are allowing you to have a chance to talk to your guests while they're on your website, and then you can try to collect as much information as you want. So we are an AI based chatbot, but we also allow the human intervenence. So if you want your reservation agent to come in and talk to a guest, we allow you to do that. So I think that's a great way for us to, again, interact with the guests and try to collect as much data as possible. And oftentimes people talk about the OTAs and us not having access to the guests that booked through the OTAs, but we do. They stay at your hotel. They're not physically with the OTAs. They're physically at your hotel. So you have a bigger chance to connect with them, and you have to be creative on the ways you're going to do it. But I think, again, with our chatbot, we do it in a way that people sometimes don't notice, and that's how we're successful.
Nice. We do have a question here that I think personally, as a traveler, I struggle with. So I'm gonna give you to the experts. Juan, I'm sorry if I'm not saying your right name. So sorry, Juan. What are your thoughts about providing guests the ability to control in-room devices by using web browsing on their smartphone, tablet, and laptop? I'm gonna be honest, and I'm gonna just say my opinion as a traveler. I do hesitate a little bit because of the security, or you got, I don't know, and I feel like, oh, I have to download an app. I don't know if it's the best way. I'm struggling as a traveler. I'm struggling. So what do you guys think about it, experts? Anyone want to go first?
Sure.
Just raise your hand.
I saw the question and I loved it. A good question. No, I'm with you, Paula. I struggle with it a little bit as well. I've been to hotels where I could only control something with my smartphone, and coming off a flight, phone half empty, trying to download something. No, I just give me a button and it will work. But I think the hybrid solution, kind of like, hey, having both options is probably the best way forward, right? For people that do want to, if you're multiple days in a resort and you stay there for a longer stay, and you have the comfort of kind of figuring everything out, it could be fantastic. But if you're just for one night, you arrive at midnight and you need to check out at 6 o'clock for your next flight the next morning, you probably don't want to deal with apps and complicated things. So then buttons and easy switches are the best way. So that's my take.
I would agree with that. Bring your own device is happening more and more, and not only that, but bring your own Netflix account, bring your own, content to your stay. When you're traveling with kids, you appreciate the iPad at times, and you have your content preloaded. In-room controls make it easy, right? I mean, we've seen casinos 5-10 years ago that had tablets in the room, so you control everything: the lights, the mood, the sound, the music, the bathtub, etc. Did that create a better experience? I don't know. Keep it simple and seamless. But to your point, Thomas, I'm not downloading another app as a traveler, right? That's my personal view.
Nice.
Yeah, I agree with both of you. I still go to Vegas and I don't know how to open the curtains every time. I stayed at the same hotel and I'm still struggling. However, I would like to kind of stir the pot and maybe ask some of the kids, your teenage kids and the younger generation, because for them, it's probably going to be more just, second nature to do that. So it's interesting. And I think the hybrid model would probably be best. So you can cater to us, but you can also cater to the new generation, which I'm under the impression that they would be totally okay with.
So you're putting us all in an age category.
Yeah. Now? What are you trying to say? What are you trying to say?
I thought that too, Thomas. But okay.
I'm sorry, but I mean, yeah, we're probably the same age here, right? 30 something, like early 30s. So
thank you, Bianca.
Oh yeah, thank you.
So much better. Thank you.
Next topic.
Yeah, but okay, guys. Like I said, we are starting to head to the end, and a lot of people didn't get from the beginning, was not here from the beginning, and I would really like to the three of you to do a little bit more like give you the top tips from what hoteliers can do now. I know many of them you already said it before during the show, but I think it's good to just recap and so the person that is watching us and here, and it's like, okay, let me try to focus on this or this, and we actually help them. So Sebastian would like to go first now.
To all hoteliers out there, don't drop your rates. That's what worries me the most. I think we'll have peaks, we'll have weekend demands that will be high. I know demand is struggling right now. If I had one single sort of 30-second statements, is like, be smart about it and don't drop your rates too much, because it's going to be much harder to bring it back up. I don't know. I used to be revenue manager God, I'm going to age myself, Bianca, with another big crisis that impacted travel. And, we saw what happened with prices and how long it took to bring them back up. You guys have beautiful hotels, beautiful location, beautiful places. Think twice before you drop your rates too much.
Oh, that's a really heated topic, I think, Sebastian. It's a lot of discussion about it on the internet. We can see about this dropping or not, and what I can see, and I know if you agree with me, Sebastian, is you don't need to necessarily drop your rates like you're saying, but maybe adding some service or something, make it more attractive. Maybe what would be you think would be kind of the solution or?
Again, like what we've seen, at least in 2020, booking windows were extremely short, right? People started the day with 0 occupancy and sold out on the same day. That is ridiculous, right? It's crazy, right? If you will. And that will happen again in 2021. And people were traveling regardless of how much you charged, right? So the price was not a deciding factor. It was more the location. It was more the type of property, I guess we have to rethink price a little bit because booking windows are becoming so short because we're shifting from corporate to leisure travel. And my only recommendation, and I know it's sort of pricing more so than marketing, is be smart about your prices, right? Whether you need to add value, I don't know, but you need to be able to act quickly, and that's through automation and technology is my final sort of word, right? I'll put
nice.
it in there.
Okay. Nice, Sebastian. I'm pretty sure that a lot of people are starting to rethink their strategies right now. Thomas, what about you? If you could just to do a recap,
Yeah,
sorry,
no.
about what you said or what is most important.
No, I'm coming on back to Sebastian's point. This is actually, we didn't talk about it much, but there's been a gentleman in Austria, and I pronounce his name probably wrong, but Professor Nussbauer. He did a lot of research about how consumers, not businesses, but especially leisure travel, perceive pricing. And his conclusion over and over again is like, if you increase your rates, even during crises or pandemics, it will not deter your customers. In the end, you will make more profit as a hotel, and that's eventually something that that's the end result. So awesome point, Sebastian. I think for me to kind of like the things I mentioned is focus on your biggest challenges, right? Try not to spread yourself too thin, trying to solve 25 things at the same time, but focus on the things that you, in a challenging year as 2021, as it looks like, still are going to be the most impact for your business. The biggest hurdles, and trying to unravel those things, and take the time now to make sure that you do your reviews of your processes, your tech stack, your data flows, however you want to look at it, but just use this time as wisely as possible, because hopefully, and the summer comes up, we're going to be at 90+% occupancy, and everybody's going to be extremely busy again. So.
Yeah, I do think I'm an optimist. I do think once something it started to be quite normal, not normal, but anyway, everybody's vaccine, I think it's going to be a boom, because like there is no one that don't want to travel. Everybody's like dying, for to travel. So I think you're going to be like, whoa. At least I think so. I don't know when, but it will happen. Bianca, what about you?
So 3 things that I wanted people to take home. Test your booking journey. Make sure that the process is good for the guest. Engagement and awareness advertisement will pay off. People still need reassurance that it's going to be okay. So that communication needs to continue to happen if you're not doing yet. And bring your booking engine experience to your social channels. People are not only booking on your website or via phone, email anymore. People are booking through other channels. So pay attention and bring that experience to those channels as well.
Nice. I would like to thank you, all the guests. They are here with me, and everybody that watching us and interact with us. It was really, really good and a rich experience, I think, for all of us. It was a great pleasure having you all and a great conversation. So thank you so much, Sebastian, for your time and for being here with us today. And if people want to contact you, should they go to cloudbeds.com, or what is the best way?
You find me on LinkedIn. You find me on everywhere. And I'll respond.
Everywhere.
Okay.
Cool. Thomas, thank you so much too for being here. And how can we people can contact you or Revinate?
Yeah, Thomas at Revinate.com and LinkedIn, and that's about it. But thank you for having us. True pleasure with speaking with all of you.
Likewise. Thank you for having us.
And Bianca, for you, how can people can connect you or connect with Asksuite?
Bianca.Barga at Asksuite, but I'm on LinkedIn pretty much all day long, so find me there.
Cool. We put it on the websites, also on the chat. So thank you again, everybody, for watching us. I hope you liked the show, and stay tuned for our next webinar. See you next time, and bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.